The Galactic Council of Order ruled nearly 80% of known space. Their architecture was a reflection of their philosophy: perfect symmetry, perfect repetition, perfect control. On the planet Saren 4, a capital world of the Velethi species, the skies were an exact shade of blue, calibrated daily by atmospheric regulators. Music consisted of soft hums and three-note harmonies. Art was banned, not censored, banned. Creativity was considered a disease. They called it the Harmony Age. It had lasted for 9,000 years. And then the Terrans arrived. Before we dive deeper, if you enjoy these original HFY stories, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps us keep building this channel for you. Now, back to the story. We didn't come as conquerors. We came as traders. The first human to land on Saren 4 was Aliyah Rains, a cultural envoy from Earth's United Coalition. Her job was simple: exchange cultural tokens for galactic credits. But Aliyah, she was also a musician. In her bag, she carried something forbidden: a battered electric guitar. One night, in a private gathering of Velethi diplomats, she decided to play a song. Not just any song. A chaotic, wailing solo filled with bends, slides, distorted feedback, a sound no Velethi had ever heard. The room froze. One diplomat's glass shattered in his hand. Another clutched his chest in what he later described as a violent awakening. And one Velethi child cried, not out of pain, but from emotion. They didn't have a word for what they felt, but we did. It was called art. The council moved quickly. Within hours, human music was labeled unstable harmonic contamination. All Terran art was to be destroyed. Any human caught producing irregular emotional artifacts would be deported. But it was too late. Someone had recorded Aliyah's song, and that recording, raw, distorted, dripping with feeling, began to spread through the underground networks of the galaxy. The elites were the first to get hooked. They played it in secret, at low volume, late at night, hiding the speakers behind their sterile furniture. And they wept. Humans had been dismissed as a primitive species for decades, but now they were dangerous, not because of war, but because we had something they couldn't replicate: improvisation. Their art was calculated. Ours was chaos, and chaos was addictive. It started with music. Then came paintings, films, novels, poetry. Even human engineering, bridges that swayed but never fell, cities designed around emotion instead of efficiency. The Galactic Council banned it all, so we sold it on the black market. We didn't mean to. But the demand was overwhelming. One Terran, a man named Ezra Cole, a former street artist from Detroit, became the most infamous smuggler in the galaxy. They called him the Godfather of Chaos. Ezra never meant to be a criminal, but when alien nobles started offering him entire moons in exchange for a single original painting, he realized chaos was currency. He built a network. Smugglers transported USB drives of music, rolls of canvas, reels of film. Secret galleries were built under alien palaces. And everywhere, the same thing happened. Aliens cried. Aliens laughed. Aliens felt. They didn't understand it, but they wanted more, and so we gave it to them. The Velethi youth began rebelling. They painted walls with graffiti. They made music with trash cans. They started to dance. Order began to crack, and the council panicked. They summoned humans to a tribunal. They accused us of emotional sabotage. Ezra stood before them, calm, collected, and very, very human. You tried to control everything, he told them. But you forgot one thing. Life isn't meant to be controlled. It's meant to be lived. The council tried to hold firm, but cracks were everywhere. Entire species were demanding access to human art, human stories, human chaos. They had built empires on symmetry, and we had infected them with the asymmetry of the soul. In one final act of desperation, the council tried to destroy all human cultural imports. But the aliens didn't let them. On Saren 4, millions marched through the streets carrying paintings, instruments, poems. It wasn't a war. It was a parade of color, sound, emotion, and the galaxy followed. 1 year later, the Galactic Council officially lifted the ban on human creativity. But it was too late. We weren't just allowed, we were essential. Human chaos exports became the most profitable industry in the galaxy. Ezra Cole? He retired rich, painting sunsets on an alien beach. Aaliyah Rains? Her guitar solo is now required listening in dozens of planetary schools. And humans? We became the dealers of unpredictability, the merchants of feeling, the architects of chaos. They called us dangerous. They called us unpredictable. They called us fragile. But in the end, the galaxy couldn't survive without us, because we reminded them of the one thing they had forgotten: to feel. And that's how humans, you and me, changed the galaxy, not with weapons, not with armies, but with something far more powerful: chaos, unpredictable, messy, beautiful. The kind of chaos that makes a child laugh, the kind of chaos that makes an alien weep at a song, the kind of chaos that builds a world worth living in. So what do you think? Would you have smuggled art across the galaxy? Do you think aliens would love your favorite song? Tell me in the comments, and don't forget to drop your city too. I want to see where all our chaos dealers are tuning in from. Stay human, stay wild, stay unpredictable.